All right, we have reached the other river, ridden all the way across Brazos County and hit the Brazos River. Cropland, dirt, mud monster road. And I want you to notice there's 5 fields of data on this thing already. So the watch has come in handy, the timing bezel already. Like, it was really cool. Something I didn't really expect was I was coming up on the post office, and the post office has a water faucet, but the post office closes at noon. And dealing with traffic and hassle of cars and stuff, I usually would look at this watch, and I'm using this watch to broadcast heart rate, and I'm using my bike computer for all kinds of metrics. So yeah, don't at me on just get a bike computer, dude. I use the hell out of a bike computer, which I'll get to in a second, like all the fields I use for stuff. But look how tiny that time of day is right there, right? And I just looked down and was like, bam, it's afternoon. This was a while ago. And I was like, yeah, it'll be nice and easy, no hassle with anybody, and I'll be able to go in. And then I filled up water. I set the rotating bezel back then at that whatever minute that was. And then it took 3 minutes for me to get water and to pick something new to put on, to listen to on my headphones. And then on top of that, I was like, oh, let me start it again. So I rotated it again to start again on that minute. And how long does it take to get to here, to the Brazos River from the post office? And I was surprised that it only took three and a half minutes to refill water and find some music and a podcast to listen to. And then now I'm down to here, and that is pretty cool. So most of the time I actually wouldn't be wearing this watch if I was wearing a heart rate strap, so I wouldn't even have this at all to look down at time. But the other thing is, on this bike computer, there's my Vario radar. They're like, why don't you just have time of day on this, and then also I do use the lap button, so we're gonna get to that in a minute. But I have so many fields already that I'm using. I use the lap function on the bike computer, mostly for power meter averaging. About every 20 minutes or every 30 minutes, I'll set it to restart, because towards the end of a ride, you have this huge pile of numbers. And as you start to fade, it takes a whole lot of fading for you to know that you're fading, for it to affect that giant pile of numbers of 3 hours. But if you do a lap every 20 minutes or so, and then you have lap power right there, see that lap normalized power, the second from the top right, then you know how hard you've been going the past 20 minutes. You can tell if your fuel or whatever is fading, whatever. But also another great feature of it, if you got a long climb or you're doing a Strava segment, you can hit the lap button and then have, what do? You do lap button and, your average power. So if it's something long or a long climb, you don't go too hard at the beginning, right? It's also really good for the beginning of a race, and then roll it over. So I used to have time of day down at the bottom, and what I use that for is what time of day is it, so I can know to put on sunscreen. If it's it's not worth putting it on at 7 a.m., but once it starts to get to be about 10:30, sunscreen for me, that's what I like to do. And I've replaced it lately with temperature, so I know how hot it is. It's mostly in the summer, but then cadence, and you see I'm using all these fields right here. And I could get to time of day, like if I swipe, probably it's in there. I got heart rate, time of day in there, map. I use all this stuff, but I have to swipe it to get to it. And when I can just flick my wrist and get that right there. Also, like if you're swimming in the pool, you want to know what time of day it is, you need to get to work or something. You want to know the pool's going to close at exactly what time. Just bam, huge, big numbers. So I'm going to set this. Let's see if we can do it on screen without my phone falling down. We're about to leave here. And maybe if I go under like this. you hear this thing click. It's really cool. I'll go all the way around so you can see it. And it clicks at 30-second intervals. Sorry about the gloves, these need to go in the trash. And yeah, so it's really easy to set. So I'm gonna set that and then see how long it takes for me to get to the end of Old Highway 6 from here, and just be able to leave all this alone for other things. All right.